The detective asked.
No, what were your intentions with this bin? I mean, there's a large bin.
Sarah answered without hesitation. No confusion, no emotion. Earlier, she had already admitted.
And then later that evening, I went to the Walmart and got the cleaning supplies.
When asked what she was cleaning, she said plainly,
The blood.
The blood from your mother? Okay.
The detective didn't challenge her. He let her keep talking. Then came the phone.
You responded to these messages acting as if your mother was responding.
Money followed.
Okay. So how much did you withdraw?
$600.
And then where do you go?
Straight to the dope dealer.
This interrogation taps directly into cognitive dissonance theory, the mental stress that occurs when a person tries to hold two opposing truths at once. Sarah wanted to believe it was impulsive, but her own words described planning, concealment, and control. But the real questions remain. Who this demonic woman was, what truly happened on December 31st, 2013. Welcome back to the channel. Your single comment means more than you think. December 31st, 2013, just after dusk, a cold winter night settled over a quiet trailer park in western Pennsylvania. Inside a small trailer, 24-year-old Sarah Wagner waited. Her mother, Dawn Wagner, came home around 6:30 p.m., tired from work, unaware this ordinary night would be her last. The argument was small, almost mundane. Sarah asked for the car. Dawn said no. What followed was not chaos, but escalation, minutes that would later be dissected second by second. By 7:30 p.m., the house had gone silent again. Dawn lay in the bathroom. Sarah gathered her child, turned on cartoons, and began cleaning. Over the next 4 to 5 days, Sarah moved between a roadside motel and the trailer. She used her mother's bank cards, bought drugs, and returned repeatedly to the scene. On Saturday night, under the glow of Walmart's fluorescent lights, she purchased cleaning supplies and a large blue storage bin. The intention was clear, even if unfulfilled. Time moved forward, but the crime stayed frozen in place. Eventually, suspicion grew. Bank records, phone activity, and silence converged. When Sarah was finally brought into the interrogation room, it was daytime, bright, controlled, and quiet. No raised voices, no immediate accusations. Today, we're not just looking at what happened, but how psychology, structure, and patience turn a confession into a conviction.
Sarah, for the record, can you state your full name and date of birth?
Sarah Dawn Recovered, and my date of birth is 10/02/88.
Sarah, you know why you're here today? Okay. All right, basically you're here today regarding an incident that happened involving your mother. Okay? What can you tell me about the incident that happened back on Tuesday, December 31st?
Let me tell you everything that happened.
Yes.
My mother came home at about 6:30 at night, and she was sitting in the living room and was talking about how she's fed up with everything and fed up with people using her and my dad and stuff like that. And I was really dope sick, and I asked her if I could use her car to go get marijuana, but I was really gonna go get heroin. And I think she kind of knew that. She told me no. And I just wanted to get high. And so I went into the kitchen, and she was in the living room watching TV, smoking a cigarette. And I was making pizza, and her back was towards the kitchen, so she couldn't see me. And I asked her again to use her car, and she said, no, I'm not using my vehicle. I don't care about marijuana. You're not using it. And I got really upset, and my body got really hot, and I seen the hammer, and I picked up the hammer, and I stood on top of the counter, and I hit her in the head with the hammer, and she screamed out, "What the fuck?" And then I jumped off the counter, and then I hit her again with the hammer, and again and again, and then the dog champ came out. We heard her yelling, and he nipped me in the back of the leg, and I hit him with the hammer.
Detectives begin by allowing Sarah to speak uninterrupted, inviting her to tell everything that happened. This tactic exploits narrative commitment theory, which holds that once individuals construct a detailed personal narrative, they become psychologically bound to it. The longer and more detailed the story, the harder it becomes to retract or substantially alter without triggering internal conflict. By letting Sarah narrate events in her own words, detectives ensure that contradictions later will feel like self-betrayal rather than correction.
And he stopped and went behind the couch. My mom ran to the door, and I pushed her. Hold on a second. I pushed her, and then he kept hitting her in the head with the hammer. I don't know how many times, just kept hitting her. And there's blood everywhere. And I didn't want my son to get up because he was sleeping in his room. And I don't want her to hear. I don't want him to hear her. So when she was laying there, I took her by the hand and dragged her into the bathroom. And then I hit her again in the bathroom. And she said, "Sarah, you could use my car. I'm sorry, you could use my car." And at that point, there was just so much blood everywhere. And I told her I'm sorry, and I loved her. And then I laid her down on the ground, and I tried to choke her because she was gurgling, and I didn't want her to be suffering. And so I tried to choke her, and I couldn't because it was so slippery. There was so much blood. And then I just left her there. And I went into the kitchen and got the duct tape, and I duct taped her leg because I didn't want her to get out of the bathroom and walk out and then tell on me. And so I tied her legs up, and I seen that she wasn't breathing anymore. And then I went and I heard my son get up, and he's saying, "Where's Mom? Where's Mom?" And I said, "Mom's fine, baby." And I took him into the living room and put cartoons on, and then I started cleaning up the blood. There was blood everywhere, and I was just using towels and anything I could find to clean up the blood. And then I cleaned up myself and got the her clothes on, and I took her mat cards, and I took my son. I packed a couple of days worth of clothes, and I left, and I went to the back machine and pulled out, I think it was $600.
Throughout the interrogation, detectives maintain calm, emotionally flat tones, even when discussing extreme violence. This tactic minimizes psychological reactance theory, Brim, 1966, which predicts that people resist when they feel judged or controlled. By avoiding outrage or moral condemnation, detectives remove the emotional trigger that would prompt denial or hostility.
Yeah, your mom owns the vehicle. What kind of vehicle? What's the make and model of the vehicle?
Chevy, the small Chevy, look like Cobalt.
Okay.
Exact name.
2-door, 4-door?
Red.
Red color?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's mom's vehicle. And that's the vehicle that you wanted to take. And she refused to give you keys. Okay. Okay, so the first of all, you got the hammer from where?
The kitchen drawer.
Kitchen drawer? Did you remove anything else from the kitchen drawer?
The duct tape.
A roll of duct tape? Okay. So the first strike, you're behind your mom, and you hit her in the head. And then from there, did your mom fall to the ground at that point?
No, she got up and said, she looked at me and said, "What the fuck?"
Okay.
And that's when I jumped off the counter and started hitting her.
Sarah, where was your mom sitting when you first hit her?
The left seat. It was right in front of the counter, like right in front of the kitchen counter. Like her back was like towards the kitchen, so she couldn't see me. And she was watching TV and smoking a cigarette.
And you said you got the hammer from the kitchen cabinet, correct?
The kitchen drawer.
Kitchen drawer. Was the hammer out for a while or?
Detectives subtly reframe Sarah as the one responsible for order, asking her to clarify, correct, and confirm details. This reflects role internalization theory, where individuals unconsciously adopt roles assigned to them. By positioning Sarah as the narrator authority of events, detectives strip away her ability to later claim coercion or misunderstanding.
You struck her one time. Her response was, "Ow, what the fuck?"
Mm-hmm.
Did she fall to the ground at all?
No, she didn't fall to the ground until I got off the counter and struck her again.
At that time, was she still sitting on the chair?
No, she fell by the TV.
In the living room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She fell to the ground. Describe to me what happened after that.
After that, Champ, the big dog, her big dog came out and heard her yelling, and he tried to stop me by nipping the back of my leg, but I hit him with the hammer in the head, and he stopped and went behind the couch, and that's when she ran to the door, but I pushed her out of the way.
The front door of the trailer residence?
Yes.
Okay. Did your mom leave the trailer?
No.
Okay. So she ran towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, what happened?
I pushed her, and then she fell to the ground in the kitchen, and I just started hitting her again in the head with the hammer.
Sarah, did your mom attempt to defend herself or stop the attack?
Yeah, when we were in the living room by the TV, she tried to put her hands up and blocking and tried to grab for my hand.
Rather than confronting Sarah with the full gravity of the crime, detectives ask for increasingly specific details. First about the argument, then the hammer, then body positioning. This reflects the foot-in-the-door technique, Friedman and Fraser, 1966, where compliance with small requests increases the likelihood of compliance with larger, more incriminating ones. Each answer question lowers resistance to the next.
It was slippery.
Was she already waiting by then?
Yeah.
Okay, while she's trying to defend herself, what did you do after that point, after striking her in the kitchen?
And then she was just laying there, like motionless, and so I thought she was dead. So I dragged her to the bathroom, and I laid her down, and she said she wasn't dead, and then she said, "You could use my car," and then that's when I tried to choke her, but there's just too much blood and I couldn't grab for her neck.
Okay, sir, so you grab your mom while she's on the ground in the kitchen. How did you grab her? You grab her by her arms. Mm-hmm. At this point, is she fighting, squirming around at all? Okay, so you grab her by her arms.
Like that. Like she was like,
her arms are up in the air.
Yeah.
Her feet are on the ground, and you're just pulling her backwards. Mm-hmm. Okay? So you pull her through the kitchen, through the living room, and down the hallway. And you take her where?
Into the bathroom.
Into the bathroom. And the bathroom's located where in the trailer?
By asking whether her mother raised her hands or tried to block blows, detectives highlight moments of resistance without explicitly accusing. This activates moral dissonance theory, a subset of cognitive dissonance, where awareness of violating deeply held moral norms, harming a defenseless parent, creates psychological distress. Confession becomes a way to resolve that discomfort.
And then far into the hallway? Okay. While you're dragging him, your son is still sleeping in his bedroom to your left? Okay. So you drag your mom down the hallway to the rear of the trailer. All right. She's now in the bathroom. Okay. Tell me what happened in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, I remember I hit her in the bathroom. I think like once or twice again. And that's when she said, "You could use my car. I'm sorry, you could use my car." And then I told her I'm sorry and I love her. And then that's when I tried to choke her because she was gurgling and I just didn't want her to suffer. And I thought she was dead. And then I heard her get up. So I went and got her and took her into the living room and put cartoons on. And he's like, "Where's Mom? Where's Mom?" And I said, "Mom's fine, baby." And then I got the duct tape and I went back into the bathroom and she was motionless, wasn't breathing. And I tied her legs up because I just thought, she might get up, she might wake up.
Okay. So you say you tried to strangle her or you did strangle her?
I tried, I couldn't
Were you standing behind her or in front of her?
like this.
Over top of her while she's on the ground?
Yeah.
We're straddling over.
Yeah.
Detectives repeatedly ask Sarah to describe physical movement, dragging, hallway length, room placement. This leverages embodied cognition theory, which posits that recalling bodily actions activates sensorimotor memory systems. Once Sarah physically re-experiences the act in her mind, emotional distancing collapses, making denial cognitively implausible.
All right, so you put the duct tape on Mom, you leave the bathroom, you attend to your son. Tell me what happened after that.
After that, after I duct taped her and I seen that she wasn't breathing anymore, I started cleaning up my face. I had blood on my face, and it was on my hands, it was all over me. And I changed my clothes, and I started to wipe up all the blood in the hallway, in our living room, and in the kitchen.
Okay.
And then I went back into the bathroom and got the hammer and threw it in the garbage and threw the rags in the garbage.
And what garbage? The bathroom garbage or where? The kitchen garbage? Okay.
And then I put the duct tape back on the counter
The counter where?
in the kitchen.
Okay.
And then I got some clothes for she, and I got my mom's wallet, her IDs, and her cards. And I went to this guy in the car and went to the Sunoco.
Okay.
And then I went to the Sport and got a brick heroin. And then I stayed at the Highland Terrace Hotel for a couple days. And I didn't know how to shoot, so I called my friend to come over to help me.
Okay.
It's Sarah, real quick. Do you know what clothing you were wearing when you attacked your mom?
I was wearing Eeyore pajama bottoms, and it was like a long white sleeve. I think it was a Steelers shirt. Long sleeve Steelers shirt.
And what did you use to clean up the scene?
Towels and rags that I found around the house.
Any cleaning products at that time?
There was bathroom stuff that I used, but it didn't really work that well. That's why I went to Walmart and got all the cleaning supplies.
Questions about cleaning, changing clothes, and disposing of items are asked calmly and sequentially. This leverages Men's Ray attribution theory, which focuses on conscious awareness and intent. Psychologically, recalling post-crime organization forces Sarah to recognize her own rational functioning, dismantling any internal narrative of uncontrollable rage.
For the record, I know you said, what was the primary area where you were striking your mom with the hammer?
In the kitchen.
I mean, what was the primary area on her body?
Her head.
Her head?
Was she struck anywhere else on her body other than her head?
I don't think so.
If you can remember, Sarah, do you remember what your mom was wearing?
I know, I'm pretty sure she was wearing zebra striped pants. That little kind of shirt she was wearing.
Remember the clothes she wore to work that day?
Okay, so what time did you leave the trailer after the assault?
Probably like 7:30ish, close to 8.
That's PM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you leave the house, you gather some belongings, clothing for yourself and for your son.
And toys for him.
Okay. And I believe you said you met up with a friend
Well, she came over
to the hotel.
the motel.
What motel was that?
Highland Terrace Motel.
Highland Terrace, and that's located where?
Route 30, it's either North Huntington or North Sales.
Okay.
What's the last name?
I don't know her last name. I know she lives in North Sales though.
Where at?
It's right by the, she didn't know anything about me hurting my mom or anything else.
You contacted her or she contacted you? And arrangements were made? You contacted her. Okay.
I owed her a couple of hours up here. And I said, why don't you come over and when I'm out and I'll give you, your hair that I owe you, but just can you help me shoot up? I was there before.
Okay, so when you left the trailer, did you have any money on you? Any checks, any credit cards, debit cards, anything like that? What did you have?
I had all my mom's debit cards and her checkbook and her identification, her social security card.
And these items were where? Originally?
Originally they were in her purse.
And the purse was at the house or in her mom's car?
At the house, on the counter.
Okay.
When detectives reference Sarah's sleeping child, they intentionally introduce a competing identity, mother versus perpetrator. This tactic aligns with self-discrepancy theory, Higgins, 1987, which explains that distress intensifies when one's actions conflict with their ideal self. The sharper the contrast, the harder it is to maintain psychological defenses.
Okay, so what time did you leave the trailer after the assault?
Probably like 7:30ish, close to 8.
That's PM.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you leave the house, you gather some belongings, clothing for yourself and for your son.
And toys for him.
Okay. And I believe you said you met up with a friend
Well, she came over
to the hotel.
the motel.
What motel was that?
Highland Terrace Motel.
Highland Terrace, and that's located where?
Route 30, it's either North Huntington or North Sales.
Okay.
What's the last name?
I don't know her last name. I know she lives in North Sales though.
Where at?
It's right by the, she didn't know anything about me hurting my mom or anything else.
You contacted her or she contacted you? And arrangements were made? You contacted her. Okay.
I owed her a couple of hours up here. And I said, why don't you come over and when I'm out and I'll give you, your hair that I owe you, but just can you help me shoot up? never did before.
Investigators repeatedly confirm specific times, 6:30, 7:30-ish, close to 8, not to clarify facts, but to anchor Sarah's memory to a fixed temporal scaffold. This tactic draws on encoding specificity principle, Tulving and Thompson, 1973, which explains that memories are more easily retrieved and defended when tied to contextual cues like time. Once anchored, Sarah cannot later claim confusion or blackout without undermining her own earlier certainty.
All right, so you leave the resident with your mom's belongings, purse, debit card. Did you stop and get cash? Did you use these debit cards anywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
Some ago I used the Pinnacle account to get the money out, and then I used the Pinnacle one to get the room for a couple nights, and I paid cash some nights for the room, and then I used the choice checking to get cigarettes and food and stuff like that for the motel.
Okay. So the first transaction was made at, you said, Sunoco, and that's on, where's that located?
I believe it's Route 66, Delmont.
Route 66, Delmont? Okay. And that's just north of Route 22?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's just Sunoco. If you're traveling southbound on Route 22, Sunoco on your right?
Yes,
Okay. ATM's inside or outside?
inside.
Okay. So how much did you withdraw during that transaction?
$600.
$600. Okay. So you leave there, and then where do you go?
Straight to the dope dealer.
Okay.
Who's your dope dealer?
Now, where do you meet?
In Midtown, Eastern Keysport, downtown Keysport. Midtown.
Okay. Can you describe?
He's tall and black, and he has a little bit of a goatee. Looks fairly young, and he always wears like a hat, like a cap.
How young do you think?
I don't know, my age and a little younger.
Okay, about 23, 24. Okay, you're what, 24? You're 25. Okay, so he's around your age. Okay, so you say it's mid. That's a housing development, housing project,
Yeah,
high rise, one building. That's in downtown McKeesport. Okay, so you meet with. Okay, and you purchase your hair. Okay. And then from there, you go where?
to the motel.
Back to the motel on Route 30. Where's your son at this point? He's with you? He's with you when you went and met with... Okay.
Detectives maintain a calm, procedural tone while discussing withdrawals, locations, and timelines, deliberately avoiding moral language. This tactic leverages procedural justice theory, Tyler, 1990, which posits that people are more cooperative when they perceive authority as fair and non-judgmental. By presenting themselves as neutral fact-gatherers rather than accusers, detectives reduce Sarah's instinct to resist or shut down.
Now, this is prior to meeting with... So then you go back to the motel, and that's when you contact. Okay.
Did you make any other credit card or debit card withdrawals prior to going back to the motel that day?
Yeah, I got some cigarettes and some to drink and something to eat.
Where at?
McDonald's. Got a McDonald's. And took a bath in the motel.
By walking Sarah through each transaction, ATM location, amount, direction of travel, detectives force her to track details that tax working memory. This exploits cognitive load theory, Sweller, 1988, which explains that as mental load increases, deceptive control weakens. Under sustained detail tracking, inconsistencies are more likely to surface, and the suspect becomes mentally cornered by her own narrative.
What McDonald's? Which McDonald's?
It's the one in Keysport.
The Olympia Shopping Center? Do you use the credit card or debit card?
The credit card.
Okay, so we're still on Tuesday, the 31st, correct? Did you go anywhere else that night?
No.
Okay. The following day, did you go anywhere that day? The first, New Year's Day?
No, I just stayed at the motel and come over again and we got high. And the next day, I stayed in, got high. And the next day, stayed in, got high.
Was there still what?
Well, she would come over in the morning.
Okay. So how many days did you stay at this motel?
About 4 or 5 days.
Okay, so the first day we're going with Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Saturday morning.
You stayed there for 5 days, 5 nights, well, 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
So you left Saturday morning.
Around to about, he let me stay there a bit later because I just rented the room for so long, so I left there about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
Saturday.
Detectives repeatedly emphasize the number of days that passed, Tuesday through Saturday, rather than focusing on the initial assault. This draws on temporal discounting theory, which shows that people minimize responsibility for immediate actions but struggle to justify prolonged behavior. Stretching the timeline reframes the crime as sustained decision-making rather than a single emotional break.
So Saturday, tell me about your day Saturday.
Saturday, I went and got, I think it was like 3 bundles. And then I went back to the house, my house, the trailer, and I got high again. And then later that evening I went to the Walmart and got the cleaning supplies and the blue bin, and I went back to the house and I took the Christmas tree down and the Christmas decorations down, and I cleaned the entire house, like the floors and everything.
Okay, this is on Saturday. Okay, this is day number 4 after the incident that happened at the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you left the trailer, you met, did you have telephone communication with anyone else other than me?
Mm-hmm.
Did you decide to call anyone? Did you decide to call the police, medics, anything? Okay, so your mom is in the trailer. At this point, do you think she's dead? Okay, you feel that she's dead at this point. No phone calls. All right, so you go about your day on Saturday.
Investigators return to the same events: Walmart, motel payments, phone use, without offering closure or affirmation. This activates self-consistency theory, Lecky, 1945, which holds that individuals experience psychological strain when they risk contradicting prior statements. To preserve internal consistency, Sarah continues reinforcing the same incriminating facts.
What about the following day? Sunday.
I just stayed at the house. Me and Skylar stayed at the house, and I was gonna put my mom in the blue bin, but I couldn't go back into the bathroom, and so I just got high.
Okay. Okay, let's go back to this blue bin. You purchased that where?
Walmart. I didn't purchase this bullet.
That was on Saturday? Okay. So tell me about your trip to the Walmart.
Me and my son went to Walmart, and I got the blue bin and the cleaning supplies and the contractor bags, and then walked out of the Walmart and put it in the car. And then me and my son drove back to, I got McDonald's for my son, and then we drove back to the house.
Okay, this is Saturday evening. About what time?
Probably around like 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Now, is this the first time you've been running this trailer since you left on Tuesday?
Yeah.
Okay, so now you're back at Mom's trailer. Okay, you have cleaning supplies, a large bin. Can you describe this bin? How big was this bin?
It was about as big as me. It was blue.
Like how large, how high off the ground is this bin?
That high.
Okay.
And then from here to like as big as my body.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit smaller.
No, what were your intentions with this bin? I mean, it's a large bin. What were your intentions?
Put my mom in there.
Put your mom into this bin. Okay. Now, were you going to do this by yourself? Did you have help?
I was going to do it myself.
You're going to do it by yourself? So that was your main goal. You were going to put your mom in the storage bin. All right. So you never did that. So at this point, you decided to clean the place up. Okay. Cleaning supplies. All right. What area of the house did you clean up?
The kitchen floor, and like little really cabinets, and then the entrance to like the house where the door is at, front door, and then the living room by the TV, and then the hallway, and then back by the bathroom, and then I stopped.
So when you say clean up, like a weekly cleaning, what were you cleaning up?
The blood.
The blood from your mother? Okay.
Asking Sarah to describe entrances, exits, bin size, and hallway layout transforms vague admissions into spatially grounded actions. This tactic is rooted in situation awareness theory, Inslee, 1995, which states that detailed environmental reconstruction increases cognitive immersion. Once immersed, denial becomes psychologically untenable because the mind re-experiences the event as real rather than symbolic.
What did you do with the cloths, the rags, towels? Threw in the garbage? In the trailer? The same garbage where you put the hammer? Did you discard any of the clothing, anything else, anywhere else? Okay. So the clothing that you were wearing on Tuesday in your bedroom, where at?
On the floor in my closet.
Okay. All right, so you do a little cleaning in the pretty much the entire trailer. Okay. You left your mother in the bathroom?
Couldn't go in there.
Couldn't go in there. Couldn't bear to see the sight of your mom in there?
No. Just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. Couldn't hear. Just looked at it, it's not hard. Just hard.
Well, you were there a couple of days at Friday or Saturday, Sunday, Monday. How did you go to the bathroom?
I went in a little bucket, and then tossed outside, and he just kept in his pull up.
Okay, so you're saying that you stayed at the house Saturday, Sunday, also Monday?
Monday, I left
Where'd you go?
to the hearing, to my boyfriend's hearing, the 7th.
That would have been Tuesday.
Pretty sure it was Monday, the 7th. At 1.
That was the same day you got arrested, correct?
Mm-hmm.
That's Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
Sir, do you remember if anyone...
You sure it's Tuesday? Because I swear it was Monday.
7th was on Tuesday.
All right, so that weekend, the time that you're there, do you remember anyone coming over to the house?
No.
No visitors, any phone calls? Did your mom receive any phone calls?
My mom received messages from her friends and phone calls from her boyfriend. But after that, told Mark, her employee, that I act like my mom. I said I hurt my back. My back gave out, and I just talked like she would. And then my dad called one time, and I told him that I was busy, and I'll call him back later.
Detectives focus extensively on cleaning, changing clothes, disposing of items, and impersonating the victim via text. This relies on post-offense rational action theory, which distinguishes impulsive acts from deliberate cognition. Psychologically, recalling organized behavior undermines any internal claim of blackout or dissociation.
Okay, so when you say you have your conversation with these people, telephone conversations, text conversations,
Text conversation.
and these text conversations were made on what? Mom's phone, your phone?
My own phone.
Your mom's phone. So you received text messages on your mom's telephone from coworkers, and you acted as if you were your mother. You responded to these messages acting as if your mother was responding. All right.
What friends or coworkers do you remember attempted to contact your mom?
Her friend, and then her boyfriend, and then my dad tried to call.
Anyone else try to contact her, either call her or text her?
My grandmother, but I didn't answer.
Now, did you have a conversation with your father?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was only trying to get a hold of your mom through her phone and via text.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is over the weekend, roughly. Do you remember what day?
No.
Okay.
Going back to your mom's phone, did you take it with you the day of the assault?
Yeah.
And were people texting her while you were at the motel? Like that Tuesday, Wednesday,
Yeah, her
Thursday?
boyfriend was.
And you were responding back. So you would have been in the motel.
And this is your mother's boyfriend. So basically, this all started over a disagreement with one of your mom's vehicle, and the fact that you're addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
And the result of your addiction made you
My mom.
turn on your mom.
Did you tell anyone or talk to anyone about what happened?
You never told me.
Let's go back to when you left the motel that Saturday. How did you pay for it? How were you paying for the motel?
I didn't take for myself Saturday after I left.
How were you paying for the motel?
With a credit card, Pinnacle credit card.
You paid daily?
Without overt accusation, detectives highlight conflicting roles: daughter, mother, caretaker, impersonator. This exploits role conflict theory, Con et al., 1964, which explains that stress intensifies when incompatible roles collide. As these identities clash, Sarah's narrative coherence weakens, making confession a stabilizing outlet.
You said when you left the motel, you went and bought maybe 3 bundles of heroin. Who did you buy that on?
One of his friends,
Who was that?
his name, she got it for me.
Where at?
It was in the Keysport in Grandview.
In Grandview? And while you were staying, you said at that motel at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and you left Saturday, did you use any of your mom's debit or credit cards anywhere other than paying for the motel?
I got a pizza.
Where at?
Had it delivered to the motel.
You know what pizza shop?
You know,
Did you go to any Mac machines or anything else, any stores where you used a credit card or debit card?
yeah, I got a cigarette stuff.
You know where?
It was the gas station in the house. I really second
Gas station, Dunkin' Donuts and North for Sales. Where else did you use the card?
What was it?
Now you went back to the house on Saturday, is that correct? Eventually that led you to go to Walmart in Delwood, which you said was around somewhere between 7 and 8 o'clock at night. Do you remember what entrance or exit you came in and out of Walmart?
The furniture.
Is there only one entrance or there's two? Usually,
There's two.
so you remember which one was it though?
The one on the far right.
One on the far right? And did you exit the same? And was he with you or was he in the car? You were holding him, carrying him?
He was like,
And when you went there, you went to get certain items, is that correct? What items did you steal? You remember stealing?
I remember stealing a bin and the contractor bag and the 409 bleach cleaner and the vinegar and the wash rags and the 2 sponges and the gloves. Rubber gloves.
Did you do any, did you look at a computer or anything to check what cleans blood?
No,
You didn't do any research on how to clean blood?
I just was looking at supplies.
After major disclosures, such as intent to use the storage bin, detectives pause rather than react. This tactic leverages interactional silence theory, which shows that silence heightens self-awareness and discomfort. The suspect fills the void with further explanation, often deepening self-incrimination.
When you went back to the house, did you clean that night? Going back to the hallway area. The hallway that leads from the living room towards the bedrooms and bathroom. Is that carpeted?
No, there's a throwaway down there.
The throw rug? Is it the whole length of the...
Kind of.
Did you do anything with that?
I rolled it up and put it in the hamper.
And when did you do that?
That night,
The night you killed your mom. Tuesday you went to the hearing, it was canceled, and then you subsequently got arrested for the robbery at PNC. You were in your mom's car.
Okay.
Detectives gently press on Sarah's inability to enter the bathroom where her mother's body lay. This uses avoidance conditioning theory, which holds that avoidance behaviors signal learned emotional threat. By naming the avoidance without condemning it, detectives expose guilt indirectly, allowing Sarah to acknowledge it herself.
Is the robbery at PMC?
I thought it was Monday.
But it was the day of your boyfriend's
Yeah.
scheduled here.
Did you intend on killing your mother?
I didn't. That body's a car to get high. You get high.
And you asked mom and she said no.
You got angry.
I got very angry. I really wanted
You really
to
wanted.
get high. I'm so sick. I don't want to feel that way anymore.
All right, Sarah. Thank you. Right now it is 16:25 hours. That concludes our interview. Thank you, Sarah.
If there's any questions, you can sit in here for a minute. If there's any other questions, we'll come back and ask you. All right, we're going to keep the audio and video recording running, okay? See if someone will sit with you, either myself or another trooper, one trooper over there.
Okay, sir, real quick. You gave a nice statement. Is there anything else you'd like to add to your statement?
I didn't mean to do it. I didn't mean to kill him. I didn't plan it. I was just really sick.
Mm.
I know it wasn't right to destroy my this and my blood that.
Okay.
Did you make any attempt to put her in the bin?
No. I didn't go in the bathroom.
And I think you already told us, but when she went for the front door during the attack, you pushed her into the kitchen. And it caused her, she fell.
All right, sir. Think you were treated rather fairly here with the state police?
Yeah.
Okay, no threats or anything? Okay.
Very nice.
All right. Thank you very much.
I'm going to turn off the audio recording.
When detectives ask, "Did you intend to kill your mother?" they do so late and without aggression. This uses attribution theory, Heider, 1958, encouraging the suspect to explain behavior in terms of internal causes rather than situational emotion. Even denial here forces cognitive engagement with intent. From a legal perspective, the interrogation achieved a near-textbook outcome for the prosecution. Detectives secured a voluntary, detailed, and internally consistent confession covering motive, means, opportunity, and post-offense conduct. By allowing uninterrupted narration and then methodically corroborating timelines, financial records, movements, concealment efforts, and impersonation of the victim, investigators established intent, consciousness of guilt, and sustained decision-making. Crucially, admissions about cleaning, financial withdrawals, deception, and plans to dispose of the body defeat defenses of temporary insanity or loss of control. The statement is legally powerful, minimally coercive, and richly corroborable, making it highly admissible and decisive in securing conviction. In the real case of Sarah Vercauteren, the woman who confessed to killing her mother Dawn Marie Wagner inside their Pennsylvania home, the legal outcome was unequivocal and severe. After pleading guilty to first-degree murder in Westmoreland County Court for the hammer attack and subsequent strangulation, Vercauteren was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge imposed this sentence following her acceptance of responsibility for her actions and her statement that she deserved to spend the rest of her life incarcerated for what she did to her mother. This life sentence reflects the gravity of the crime, the clear evidence, including her own taped confession, and the prosecution's successful framing of the murder as premeditated and deliberate.